Hello, in my last video I talked about the system that gifted people, so-called schizophrenics, in many countries that are industrial countries end up living quite sad life with no support from family and society. Well, in this video I want to mention that the rest of the world, all the other countries, in some it's better, but some countries have another great danger that is even more dangerous than ending up on the street homeless. This danger is called religion. As something that takes advantage from the people's need, from a human person, from a human need to for spirituality, because we're all kind of, not all of us, but some of us are like, what's going on? There must be some metaphysical realm too. Yes, and religions take advantage of this. And they are dangerous doctrines that also, like the system in school, from childhood on, brainwash you with their stuff, basically. And so, in the end, you believe in a so-called God that is an authority figure, and you have to obey this authority figure. Basically, you have to obey people around you who are, according to this authority figure they invented, in charge of your life. These people are calling themselves as stand-ins for the God. So these are popes, priests, I don't know how it's called in other religions, but it's the same, These figures just basically tell you what to do and what not to do, and you read these books they wrote and claiming that God told them so, and so on. I'm talking about this is because I find religions being highly, highly dangerous. And if you live in the system, in the capitalist system, of course, it's pretty bad because you have no support when you're different and you might end up on the street. But if you live in a country that is religiously interested, that has 99% believers, such as Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, it doesn't matter. Basically, all the religions I know are very dangerous and, in my opinion, very bad mind-washing agendas. They leave no room for your own way to spirituality, for your own approach of mysticism, and basically they create a God that is, that is an evil kind of being, because when you read some of them books, the Quran, the Bible, and so on, you will find out that all religions have one thing in common. They are very misogyn. Misogyn means, I don't know if I'm spelling it correctly, misogyn means that they are hostile towards women, absolutely. It varies, of course, like Islam is the most misogyn religion. There are some that are less misogyn, but, if you look at, for example, Christians who they burned witches, so-called witches and stuff like that. So like Islamic people throwing stones to stoning, I don't know how it's called in English, but they throw stones at a woman, for example, who cheated on her husband, and they kill her this way, So yeah, this is in fact very, very interesting. In Islam, you have doctrines like the woman is the property of the man, especially when they marry. He can do whatever he wants with her. She has to sleep with him whenever he wants to. She has to wear some sort of sheet over her head, looking ridiculous in hot temperatures, walking around in some black robe. Only the eyes are, some of them are not even, the eyes are visible. They have some sort of, I don't know how it's called in English, but they wear these funny things on their heads, like really, like wrapped up like a mummy. I don't know if this was if this is for someone to be considered healthy, happy, loving, all what they claim to to bring in by their religions, peace and love. I don't think that this is about peace and love. I think this is about total dictatorship. And all the religions, to varying degrees, have some sort of stuff like that. So to me, religions are absolutely unnecessary, and what they do is just brainwashing people from childhood on. So as a comparison, let's say you are a very spiritual person seeking for spirituality, and you have this gift called schizophrenia. So in the Western countries where there's not much religion going on, you might end up on the street because everybody thinks you're mad. But in these other countries where there's a lot of religious crap going on, you might end up as a mind slave of those people, and you might do really bad things, and it absolutely changes your life and turns you into a religion zombie, Yeah. I put a text down below. It's in German. I'm lazy to translate it now, but it goes something like that. Really, all the religions have serious problems going on. I don't know how such a way of thinking can be perceived as positive by someone who is really spiritual and really believes that love and peace can exist, because I repeat, none of the religions are really about love and peace. Most likely in these countries, you become a fanatical person, and that's it. You would start seeing women as inferior, and everyone who doesn't believe in your so-called God, you would think of them as, well, that's a poor one. Or you eventually want to kill them. Yeah, to various degrees, as I say. So that's what I wanted to say. When I compare these two possibilities, that I would rather choose the Western countries, that if I'm lucky enough that they do not put me in a mental ward, then I can at least live on the street. But if I live in another country where I do not share their ideology and their religious psycho stuff, I might end up even worse. Of course, nowadays, if you're not Christian, then you might live your life. But in countries where you are not Islam, or where you maybe are not Hindu, or I don't know what, you get looked at very funny, and eventually you get killed, So I'm not saying that all religions threaten your life, but they all threaten your soul. So when you have to decide, you have to choose lesser evil.